नाम रूथ फाउ, जाए पैदाइश जर्मनी, अज़दवाजी हैसियत गैर शादीशुदा, ज़ाती दिलचस्पी के मशागिल मुतालिया कोहपेमाई, खुसूसी महारत का शोबा माहरे जज़ाम, फ़ख्र का कोई लम्हा जब मैं ऐसे मरीज से मिली जो जज़ाम से सेहतयाब हो चुका था, मायूसी का कोई लम्हा जब मुआशरे में गरीबों के साथ नाइंसाफी देखती हूँ, कोई ऐसी खूबी जिस पर मुझे फ़ख्र है, पाकिस्तान में जज़ाम जैसे मर्ज पर काबू पा लिया गया है, कोई ऐसी कमजोरी जिससे मुझे नदामत होती है जब कोई साहबे सरवत गरीबों की हालत पर तरस ना खाए। अपने आप से मेरा पहला सवाल, मैं रोज़े महशर अपने रब को क्या जवाब दूंगी?
Dr. Pfau, 1960, a long time ago. Pakistan was a long way away from Germany. Why did you choose us?
Well, it wasn't primarily that I chose Pakistan. I don't even think that I was fully aware that Pakistan has been born. I was supposed to go to India and I couldn't get my visa, so I got stuck here. And once I was here, I really got stuck. Mera dil lagi, what could I do?
So it was our good fortune to have you then. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about your life before 1960, Dr. Pfau, in Germany.
Difficult to say. I had a happy childhood because my father and my mother, they hit it off well. We were 6 at home, so we had a lot of fun. But very early already, Hitler took over. I was just 4. From this time onward, it was a kind of a insecure feeling. Then the war broke out. I was just 10. Then the war was over. I was 14. And this was a horrid time because then we were occupied by the Russians. We were hungry, we were cold. Of course, the house was bombed out. So we had a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It took me long to answer this question. Oh, I'd never answered it, but to come to terms with this question: why is life the way it is, and what does it all mean, and what actually does God, who at this time previously was in no way a reality in my life, because the Nazi as well as the communists, they thought that God was something for our grandparents, but nothing for us, modern and looking in the future. Yeah. Took me long to find out that there was more to life than only what you could weigh and see and measure. And so once I knew this, I had found back to religion. Mm-hmm. I went the whole way. I entered the church, I got baptism. This is for us the entry into our religious group. Mm-hmm. And then I became a nun.
Oh, you became a nun?
Oh, yes. Sure, I was.
Okay. You took the vows?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was tremendously important for me then to really do nothing half, to be free, to serve people. And then it was my congregation who asked me to go to what we called that time the Third World. Development had just only started, and they asked me to go to India. So I didn't mind where I went. I just wanted, by this, in this time I was already a qualified doctor, I just wanted to go somewhere where I could serve. And Germany, when I left Germany Germany at this time started really picking up. You could feel after this World War where everything was in ruins, just flat. After this World War, we were about to rebuild our country too. And it was quite clear to me at this time that Germany had, all their people were after all qualified. So we knew how to start off. But I heard that there was a desperate dearth of qualified people in the developing countries, so I thought it's nice to go.
And so you came to Pakistan. When did your interest develop in your field, which is leprosy?
When I reached Pakistan, I thought that leprosy was a disease which didn't any longer exist because we don't have it in Germany. It was only when I was confronted that I thought, I can't sleep if I don't do something here and now and definite, and I mean first to help and then to do something structural, that misery. Well, we did something.
Oh yes, you did, my goodness. Tell me, Dr. Pfau, your first contact with leprosy was in Pakistan.
Was here in that time MacLeod Road leper colony. And this was so horrid, so unbelievably horrid. I mean, I surely have seen much misery in my childhood and in my youth. But this was beyond everything I could have imagined. At this time, people in Pakistan didn't know that this disease was curable. This was 60. Since 42, we had the drugs developed.
But they did not obviously reach here.
The knowledge didn't reach here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you were actually attempting to move into a field that, as somebody would say, nobody wanted to go into.
No, this is definite. At this time, you couldn't possibly get anybody to do something for leprosy.
Simply by the fact that one was afraid of catching the disease as well.
Well, I think really it went even further. It went to the point that people just denied facts. When I went the first time to the municipality and said, yeah, something has to happen. You can't let these patients just rot there. They said, we don't have leprosy in Pakistan. They come along, I show you. They said, sorry, madam, we don't have leprosy. Then I thought, why do I still talk with them? We're going to do something and then show it to them.
It was like moving mountains, wasn't it, Dr. Pfau?
Well, luckily, when you start off, you are so busy that you only see the next patient. Looking back, it looks like, oh.
And you were at that time alone?
No, I had a very dear sister in religion who had discovered actually this colony. She's still with us. She's a Mexican pharmacist, and she just also couldn't sleep when she saw this. So she had written to our headquarters in Paris whether they wouldn't have a doctor. So they wrote back, we have a doctor, but we are sorry, we have promised her to India. So when I got stuck here, I think she prayed very hard.
She was probably one of the persons instrumental in keeping you here, obviously.
Definitely.
And you're still working together.
Yeah.
How did you begin to raise this awareness about leprosy in Pakistan?
You know, at this time we didn't even think about raising awareness. This was later on. At this time we just thought, what do we do to prevent that the patients' hand and feet, where they lost the feeling, weren't eaten up with by the rats at night. I mean, we had very short-term, very concrete objectives at this time. So we told the kids around, we said, everybody who gives us a dead rat gets 1 rupee from us. So they started rat hunting, and we had them. They brought it really in a real tokery full of full of dead rats. So, I mean, this was the first what we did. Yeah. Then see, I next looked, of course, or first looked that I get a book, because I didn't know anything about leprosy. I hadn't learned it. So I needed a monography about leprosy to know what I should do professionally.
And carried on. Just a couple of questions, Dr. Pfau. Explain to me very briefly, what is leprosy? And why do I not have it and somebody else does? And if I do, then how can I cure myself?
You know, you asked this question of awareness. I do not know why after 40 years successful leprosy control, not average people in Pakistan know about it, but I know the better educated, the less knowledge about leprosy. Yeah? It is just an ordinary disease caused by a bacterium, which comes from the same family as the tuberculosis bacillus. And this is our luck and the patient's luck. We have a medication which kills this bacterium and therefore totally cures the disease. How it is transmitted, we still don't know. Most probably the same as tuberculosis, by breathing and inhaling, but it is of all infectious diseases the least infectious one. We can't say it exactly because once the germ enters in the body, it may sleep 3, 5, 40 years before the disease comes out, and this makes it so difficult really to eradicate it. We have controlled it, but every year we still get around 1,000, 900, 1,200 new patients in Pakistan. They come out of this incubation period.
And of course they are curable.
Fully. When we get them in the first stage, then 6 months. If we get them in, if the immunity of the patient is very low, and we get them later, then it's 2 years, but there's an absolute 100% cure for leprosy.
At that time, Dr. Pfau, you were without a team. You worked without a team. You raised a team. Did the team come to you, or did you go to the team?
I very soon understood that the team wasn't ready-made in Pakistan. You had to make your own. Yeah. So the first one whom we picked out were either cured patients themselves or patients on the way to cure, or children of leprosy patients. And once we had floated the idea, leprosy is curable, now we are going to do something about, then this nucleus team looked to it that their friends joined. And this way we have been extremely lucky in getting a team together who really wanted to serve. There wasn't much to be earned. At this time there wasn't even izzat. People thought that you were fools, that you didn't have another chance in life, therefore you finally ended up in leprosy. So the first team was thoroughly motivated. So we worked from them.
And now as you look back, Dr. Pfau, 44 years in the field, where did you start from and where have you expanded and reached? In terms of a team, in terms of centers, in terms of people that are working with you?
Well, when we started off, we had a wooden hut which the patient from old crates had nailed together themselves, and we were busy, as I said, killing rats. Now, when I look it up today, we have a national leprosy control program. Leprosy is a health department in all provinces. Punjab is a little bit short, so we are working with the medical universities. We have registered 50,300 patients across the country. Out of this, everybody is today cured except those 2,000. 1,000 we get annually.
Every year, fresh ones.
Yeah, fresh ones. And as it is, often a 2 years treatment. So we have about 2 years, 2,000 we keep on having. But leprosy today is a little patch. Yeah, it doesn't really upset the life of a patient. Very, very rarely. We still have certain ethnic groups in Pakistan who think that leprosy is absolutely the end of their life. Yeah, you have to be very careful to lead them accepting a diagnosis, but this is a small,
very small percentage.
Yeah, it's a small percentage. Leprosy today is on the way of getting a normal disease. The only thing is you don't die of leprosy. So those whom we picked up late because we just didn't come in time, who are deformed, who are uprooted, they are still alive today. Yeah, of our 50,000 leprosy patients, which of course means 50,000 families.
Of course.
Yeah, 27,000 are quite settled in
normal life,
in society. Yeah, they are on their feet. With 23,000, we still have to work on. And this is very important, very, very important. Many of them, when they were children, they didn't get a chance to get an education.
That's true.
Many of them also